I'm joined here by Ed DeMarco. He's the acting director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, the regulator for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. First of all, welcome. Thank you for the time today. Appreciate it. It was your green light effectively today that allows this program to move forward. And as Mike just mentioned, the HARP program originally didn't hit all the targets we set. Tell me how you think this might change it. What sort of numbers could we see as a result of this?
Well, before we get to numbers, let's talk about the program. The program's been in place since the spring of 2009. It is targeted at allowing borrowers whose mortgages are owned by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac that are near underwater or are underwater an opportunity to refinance. It was a way of correcting some inabilities in the marketplace given market conditions. What we've done the last few months is we have been engaged with not just Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but with all industry participants, mortgage insurers, lenders, and so on, to identify just how this program's been working and how we might enhance its operations so that borrowers that were originally targeted to be able to benefit from it could do so. And so we've announced this morning a series of enhancements to the program, not really changing the eligibility criteria for the program, but changing the program itself so that lenders, mortgage insurers, and so forth will be more ready and willing and able to participate in it.
$895,000 originally. You must have some estimate how many more might qualify under these expanded rules.
Well, this is inherently difficult to make such projections, and I really think that it's fraught with the uncertainty of changing market interest rates and what the borrower's own interests are. But we would expect that this may double or more what we've already seen come through. The important thing for your listeners to understand is that this is just for borrowers whose mortgages are owned or guaranteed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. That's all our authority extends to.
And it's loans before May 31st, 2009. Also, we need to point that out.
That's correct.
Let me ask you about the buyback situation, the
Sure.
reps and warranties. This is a big issue because the lenders don't necessarily have to agree to do this. This is a voluntary program. How is it you're going to make sure that those lenders are incentivized to participate? Some of them are worried they're just going to have to take these loans back on their books.
And so, as you noted, under the normal contracts between Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and lenders, there are representations and warranties that allow Fannie and Freddie to put back mortgages that are not originated properly. But what we're talking about now, one of the big changes since HARP was first announced, is that these loans have seasoned further. And most of the HARP-eligible loans that we're talking about are 4 years or more in existence, and the borrowers have been continuing to pay on their mortgage despite difficult economic circumstances and declining house prices. So we think this gives us a good market signal that these are quality borrowers who are making good on their financial obligation, and by giving them an opportunity to refinance their mortgage, their household balance sheet will be improved, the credit risk to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will be reduced, and frankly the value of the reps and warrants decline as mortgages age. So we think that this creates a better opportunity both for lenders, borrowers, and the enterprises to make something good happen here.
Let me ask you about the eligibility date, the May 31st, 2009. Why not expand that world to loans after that period? What's the logic there?
Well, there's several reasons why not to expand it. First is that that's the date that was part of the original program, and we made clear to market participants that this was the date, and it was a going backward-looking program. Since that time, there's been a great deal of government activity to support the mortgage market, and frankly, post that date, mortgage rates have been pretty low, and so the number of folks that would meaningfully participate in reduced interest rates is certainly less than in the period before. But there's been a commitment made to investors about how this program works, and we think we should stick with that.
What about your own worries about Fannie and Freddie's finances, what this means to their bottom line? There's been a lot of reporting out here that you've been hesitant to make this move up to this point. What makes you confident or comfortable that this is the right thing to do right now?
Two things. One, what I already spoke about the mortgages have seasoned, that these loans have been around for several years now, and that the borrowers have been reliably paying on them. And so I think that by allowing them an opportunity to refinance, that actually improves the credit risk exposure that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have. We're trying in these enhancements to actually encourage borrowers to shorten the term of their mortgage. That also reduces the credit risk to Fannie and Freddie and hence taxpayers, as well as helping households improve their balance sheet.
Let me just ask you finally just about what this means. For those people who are able to refinance, there is a thought here that this is going to be a form of stimulus for the economy. Those people who will all of a sudden feel more comfortable in their homes because of smaller mortgage payments every month, and maybe they'll spend that money somewhere else. Is that one of the factors involved in making this decision? Maybe we can do a little bit for the economy at the same time in addition to helping these individual homeowners?
My principal concern was on doing things that meet our mandate of improving stability and liquidity in the mortgage market, reducing credit risk to the enterprises, and helping borrowers avoid foreclosure. I think this program does it. To the extent that this allows borrowers to have greater financial capacity and improve their balance sheets, then that has an added benefit, not just to the economy, but think about local neighborhoods and housing markets that are going to be strengthened by these folks refinancing. So clearly there can be some external benefits from borrowers taking advantage of this program, but that wasn't the principal motivation for us.
Fannie and Freddie, we haven't had an opportunity to really talk to you in this role in some time. Give us your sense about where Fannie and Freddie are right now, given the taxpayer exposure, everything that the federal government has done to shore up Fannie and Freddie. Where are they?
Well, they are continuing to ensure that the United States has a functioning secondary mortgage market so that mortgages continue to be made in this country, and so that lenders have, with some reliability, the knowledge that they can sell loans into the secondary mortgage market. The quality of the new mortgages that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have been taking on since they were placed into conservatorship is clearly much better than in the years prior. We certainly have strengthened the underwriting standards that have been in place here. So they're playing an important role today. But ultimately, we all know that there needs to be some longer-term determinations made by lawmakers about the future of the country's housing finance system, and that includes the ultimate resolution of what happens to Fannie and Freddie.
Ed DeMarco, the Acting Director of FHFA, thank you very much for the time. Appreciate you again joining us.
Thank you for having me.